Good evening. One parking meter can bring in $6,000 a year for the city of Nashville. But a News Channel 5 investigation discovered the city is removing parking meters so hotels can operate for-profit valet stands.
So what are taxpayers getting out of it? It turns out very little. Investigative reporter Ben Hall has been digging into this for months.
We found Metro has been ignoring a law that could bring in much needed money for the city, all while hotels profit off public space. They are the signs of our time. Valet parking zones are popping up all over downtown. Hotels are replacing city parking meters with valet zones, where they charge tourists up to $40 per car to valet.
That curb space has value. That's effectively public property that we are converting to a private use.
Councilman Freddie O'Connell represents downtown. He's seen the traffic problems and loss of public parking valet stands are causing. But he's most concerned by our investigation, which found Metro is basically giving away something that should be making money for our cash-strapped city.
Those valet operators are collecting a huge sum on it, right? They're absolutely valuing that curb space appropriately.
Yet we found Metro is not following its own law when they charge for valet parking permits, costing taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. Metro collects a $50 fee annually for each valet zone. But a law passed years ago requires the city to collect revenue lost annually for each required metered space. In other words, when a meter is removed to put in a valet zone, that valet company must also pay the city for the money that meter would have generated. The law calculates the current rate would be $6,000 per meter per year. But we found the city has never collected any lost revenue. Take the 21C Museum Hotel on 2nd Avenue.
All in favor say aye.
Aye. Back in 2015, the Traffic and Parking Commission agreed to remove 3 parking meters so the hotel could put in a valet stand. Those 3 meters could have generated more than $18,000 a year for the city. But now that the meters have been removed, the city gets just $50. And this photo from 2016 shows parking was available on 4th Avenue. But at least 5 of these meters have now been replaced with valet zones for 3 new boutique hotels. Those meters could have brought in $30,000 a year. But with those meters removed for a valet stand, Metro only gets $150. Are you collecting lost revenue from any of these parking meters and valet zones?
No.
Diane Marshall is with Metro Public Works, and she oversees valet parking permits. She admits her department has never asked valet operators to reimburse the city for lost meter revenue. Why are those meters gone?
The meters were removed to accommodate the valet operations.
So why shouldn't they pay for the lost revenue?
Like I stated, we'll have to get a legal opinion on that to determine an answer.
Marshall says she is now asking Metro Legal whether her department has been misinterpreting the law for years. Because we raised the question, you're getting a legal opinion.
Well, because of the fact we have never considered your interpretation of this code.
Our interpretation would lead to a lot more money for the city.
That is correct.
It's clear on its face that if you have to remove parking meters for a valet stand, the city needs to make up the money.
Metro Councilman at Large Bob Mendez chairs the Finance Committee. He says the law shouldn't take a legal opinion to understand.
We're not idiots. If there used to be meters and now there's a valet stand and not a lot of time passed, well then, under that law, the city should get the revenue.
In fact, we found at least 19 parking meters near 8 downtown hotels have been removed for valet zones. Those meters could have brought in $117,000 a year for the city. But after removing all of them, the city only collects $400 a year in fees. Have you been pressured by hotels to not follow this ordinance?
No.
It's just the way you've interpreted it.
That is correct.
The city approved the Hermitage Hotel to operate a valet stand in 8 parking spaces. And the Thompson Hotel in the Gulch was able to get 5 meters to be removed. But Public Works admits they do not keep records of how many spaces are approved at each valet location. And our review of past Parking and Traffic Commission meetings reveals that valet stands were often approved with little or no discussion.
We try to help these businesses out as much as we can.
On some level,
Mendez says every penny counts in a difficult budget season.
this is the sort of thing that causes people to have questions about Metro and how it runs the city.
Are you worried the city's leaving a lot of money on the table?
Based on interpretation, it would seem that we are leaving money on the table.
Public Works has interpreted the law to mean they should only collect lost revenue when a valet stand operates part-time with an existing meter, not when they actually remove the meter. Still, we found the city has never collected lost revenue under any circumstance.